Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6th episode of the Hometown Hero Hour. I, as always, am Captain Spartacus.
And I'm Dancor.
And I'm Delta G, your overlord in the sky.
And we are very excited to be with you tonight. Our topic is the importance of music in video games. But before we get into that, we do have some news and information items. The first one on our list being that World of Warcraft got a new mount this last week. Shu-Zen, the Divine Sentinel, is this super cool dog mount with like
a giant dog.
The big monk, like necklace, beads and stuff, and we'll have a clip taken from YouTube or whatever for Shu-Zen. But I'm excited for that. That illustrates our point from our microtransactions in gaming episode that you just make cosmetic and things that don't actually affect the game super desirable.
Yeah, and monks everywhere are like, I need to have that thing.
Because it's a monk dog.
And I don't have a monk, but I'm looking at it like, okay, yeah, I can see it.
I like it.
Giant dog has this fun flavor. It's great.
The next one on our list.
Yeah, so speaking of Blizzard, we actually have some new Overwatch skins to celebrate Chinese New Year.
Yeah, and they're cool. They're very cool.
Very cool. And you know what? I still need that Reinhardt. You know, kind of the Sentinel Samurai thing. I still need that, but I haven't been able to pull it yet.
It looks like, is that Reinhardt that's got the monk beads or whatever again? He's looking
got the
very...
monk beads coming down here.
Yeah.
He's got the, the little samurai half moon thing going on.
Those look cool. Those skins look really, really cool.
Yeah, they did a good job with those. Mm-hmm. And then also we have Hyrule Warriors. They announced that it's coming to the Switch in spring.
Yeah, in the spring.
And this game, man, cool. I mean, Dynasty Warriors meets Legend of Zelda.
That's exactly what it is.
I really want to see how this plays out. It may actually get me to buy a Switch.
And Dynasty Warriors is probably, I mean, Dynasty Warriors and Mortal Kombat are the two franchises that they just keep releasing titles. Nothing really changes at all, but I keep buying them.
Right?
You got me. I love it.
But you take that and you mix in the Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
And now you have Link, or you have Zelda, or you have all these other crazy people
doing the big
doing all of the big smashy, blowing up everything things.
Sauron style, just throwing the plebs and the grunts everywhere. Yeah, so that'd be really cool.
I think that was a good move on their part.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And we also had Black Panther come out this last weekend. Did you see it? What did you think? Let us know.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to go, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, I don't normally go to movies opening weekend.
Well, the crowds.
Because I hate crowds.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll go on like a Tuesday afternoon or something and go see it then. But I'm very excited for Black Panther. I've heard a lot of good things about it already. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and here in just a little bit, Diablo Season 13 starts up again.
Yep. So real soon on the 23rd.
Get ready to start the grind all over again.
Yeah, and just like 4 days, couple days. Yeah, and I've looked at the rewards for the different classes, the armor sets that you get, and we'll put a picture of that up right here. Dang it, I never get that right. Right here. I main a monk. I mean, although I guess like with the seasons, you don't really have to main anything. But I really, really like the monk, and I'm just not impressed. I have most of that armor set already. It's the sun monkey or whatever that is, and I'm not a big fan. I love the Ina's mantra that I talked about last week with with all of the mystic allies and all the mantras and stuff like that. Like, I think that's sweet. So I don't know what the focus of the sun monkey one is supposed to be, but I remember not being impressed with it, so it's kind of meh. But
I'm still hoping that they bring back the Barbarian Whirlwind build and make it so it can actually survive.
I read about that. Hits. Yeah, that was the thing. It was really squishy.
Because it was super fun, but the second you stopped, you just died.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, all right, I'll take a break.
And you're not doing any Torment 13 being that squishy.
No.
You know what I mean? So that's hard. So we also have announced Spyro the Dragon, the trilogy, is getting a PS4 remake.
Which is crazy, because I still remember playing that back when I was a little kid, the original.
Right. Yeah, Delta G and I had it on the PlayStation 2. I don't remember which one that was.
I don't know. Spyro 2?
Maybe. It was the one where you could get all the different element breaths. The lightning breath and the cold breath, right?
See, I didn't play that one.
I don't know which one that is, but it was really, really fun. So I'm looking forward to a PlayStation 4 remake. So
super cool.
Yep, so that's going to do it for our news and information segment for this week. If you have things that you're excited about, let us know down in the comment section or hit us up on social media. And we're going to get right into tonight's main topic, which is the importance of music in video games. We're going to be talking about the role that it plays, the weight that it carries, the way that it can set the mood. Delta G?
I love this. Because this scene is so... You know, it's supposed to be he's intimidated, but you change the music and everything's completely different. I mean, really, just changing the music in that one scene completely changed how you perceive everything that's going on.
Instead of being terrified, you might be feeling a little bothered, right? So,
and we also, for the first time, we actually have a special guest.
We do have a guest. My good friend Jordan Holbrook will be joining us tonight. He's one of the best musicians that I know. In high school, I used to go into the drama room where the piano was and say, "Jordan, will you play me some Kingdom Hearts?" and just sit up against the piano, and I would fall asleep against the piano as he's playing Dearly Beloved on the, playing me some Kingdom Hearts or whatever. We'll talk with him a little bit more near the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So be excited for that. I'm excited for that. And I really like that we're shaking up our format a little bit. So
it'll be fun.
Yeah. So music in video games is one of my 3 pillars of what makes a great game. And this is just something that I've come up with myself. You might have more things that you would want to add. I know Dancor had at least one.
Call it a soft pillar.
Okay, soft pillar. I don't know.
It needs to be done well, but it doesn't have to hold up everything.
So the first one being stunning artwork. If you have stunning artwork, you're going to make a great, memorable game. The second one is a compelling story. If you have a good story, people are going to be invested in your game. They're going to want to play it, and they're going to get a lot out of it. And the third, of course, is stirring music.
Yes, which is our whole topic.
And that's
tonight.
our topic for tonight. So you mentioned having good mechanical gameplay, right?
And like I said, I mean, it's not a thing that carries a game. You don't say that I love to play this game because of the great mechanics.
Right.
But it is a thing that if it is sturdy enough to be able to hold up all of the other pieces, it just makes it a better game. When you can combine, this compelling story with this beautiful artwork and this perfectly timed music that evokes the right emotions, and then on top of that, it's a really, really good game to play. It just kind of brings the whole thing together, kind of rounds it all out.
So I like it. So if you have something else that you think makes a great game, let us know down below in the comment section, or hit us up on social media where we're available.
So since we're talking about music, I thought it would be kind of nice for us to list some of the top video game soundtracks.
Yeah.
So we actually have the list from, I think it was Forbes, right? Forbes magazine.
Forbes.com.
Kind of talks about what their picks were. So let's just kind of go through some of these and comment about them a bit. And their number 1 was Legend of Zelda, which, of course,
take your
super
pick.
Iconic.
I mean, any game in the series has really, really memorable music. I don't think these were in any particular order. I just went to Forbes.com and just wrote down what they did. Yeah. But we also have Halo 3, and we're going to be playing Halo 3 for our game tonight. So make sure you stick around for that, to illustrate our point. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that.
I like that they had Nier on the list at number 3, because we had talked about Nier Automata, was one of my favorites that we had from last year.
And one of the reasons could be that the music was so dang good.
It really was quite good.
There you go. Yep. And then we have Chrono Trigger. That's a classic game.
Probably
franchise.
My favorite old school RPG out there.
Yeah. And then on that list is Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World. Again,
really the whole series.
Yeah, take your pick from
anywhere
Mario.
In the franchise, take your pick.
Super Mario 64, right? Like Super Mario Bros, Super Mario World 3, whatever.
Right.
You know the music from that. Yeah.
Of course, you have Final Fantasy.
Again,
I love
title.
7 is kind of where my heart lies, but really take your pick.
Yeah.
There are so many great examples of great music in all of the Final Fantasies.
I've played Final Fantasy 1 more than anyone, but I played 10, Final Fantasy 10 a lot, and I really, really was into Final Fantasy 10. The next one that we have is World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
They have just these big, epic music, these big, epic compositions. And
even when you level...
Yeah.
Right? Even when you level, you get this professionally done composition to make you feel amazing. It's that injection of dopamine every time.
Yeah, you could just be walking through the woods. You could be sieging a town. You could be in a dungeon, whatever. you just have this background, this beautifully crafted background music at all times.
Absolutely.
And
You also have Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of take your pick with the series there as well.
Yeah.
All of them have beautifully composed music in them. And then, of course, I know you're partial to the
My
next one.
personal favorite. We're just going every other one. This is just how it worked out. All right, we didn't script this.
No, we didn't.
Kingdom Hearts was on that list, and boy, we are going to show some examples from Kingdom Hearts in this
We've
episode.
actually stolen, well, not stolen.
Don't
but
say
we've
stolen.
Actually taken clips from a lot of these as our examples, and it's funny because we took the clips first, and then we saw the list and they all lined up. The perfect examples.
Yeah. What are good examples of music in video games? Okay, this one, and then I got this list, and like 9 out of the 10 games that I chose were on that list. So
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm great. I'm just saying that these are great examples.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Kingdom Hearts is on this list. For anyone watching, if you don't know Kingdom Hearts, if you're not a Kingdom Hearts fanatic, I will make you a Kingdom Hearts fanatic. All right, just by virtue of watching
go watch
this
it
show.
too.
Yeah,
Just go watch the channel.
Go watch my series on YouTube. All right, you'll understand what it's all about. You'll understand why I'm such a fanatic. It's interesting, if I can go off on a tangent for a minute. That's the one franchise that I've just kind of latched onto. I know with Delta G, it was Halo for a really long time, and I know that some people just gravitate towards certain series, and I've been with Kingdom Hearts for 15 years, and that is my series. You know what I mean? That's what I'm all about. So,
Nice.
Anyway. To continue, I digress.
Thanks. Well, last but not least we have on the list is the Elder Scrolls series, which is another kind of obvious, you have Skyrim is the first
The
example.
Dovahkiin.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Dovahkiin. You're like, wow, okay, this is music that not only pumps you up, but it also really fits you into that, that period, and you actually felt like you were the Dovahkiin, right?
Yeah, it
super
puts
cool.
you it puts you in that game. It puts you in the setting.
Right.
Yeah, right. And then we have an honorable mention of Tetris, just by virtue of it being classic.
You can't hear the Tetris stuff and be like, "Oh, I've never heard that before."
You know what it is.
You know
yeah.
what it is. The
Yeah.
second it comes on, it's an iconic piece of music
Mm-hmm,
that really. I mean, the gameplay is solid in it, but really, it's
Mm-hmm.
that music piece that stays with you through everything else. You know,
Yeah.
you hear that, boom. Okay, I remember playing that as a kid, etc.
Yeah. So are there any other honorable mentions? Are there any other games that aren't on this list that you think should be? Let us know down in the comment section, or again, hit us up on social media. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
So with that, we're going to get into our first point under this umbrella topic.
Yep, we're gonna start by defining what are the different types of music and kind of defining that as the different areas in the game that you would have.
Right. What are the
music,
different
right?
instances where you hear,
Right. So
different
first
pieces.
off, the first thing that I think of where I like to have a strong musical presence is in the title screen.
Yeah.
Right? When the first time it comes up, the menu comes up for the first time, thinking specifically about Final Fantasy or Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of Ocarina of Time, let's listen to the intro here.
We've got that. There it
So I
is.
think it's going to take a second for it to come up because it starts out kind of slow. Or not?
It's good. Yeah,
That's
it's good. No,
It's
it's good.
going?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So,
Yeah, there it
here
is.
we go.
I can hear it.
Right? So it's iconic. And really, you could take your pick with, as we said, with any of the Legend
Right.
of Zelda
And
series.
I'm personally partial to the Ocarina of Time, but that's just because that goes back to my childhood.
Right. Well, I'm partial to the SNES version just because that is a very strong opening, and kind of already pulls you into that.
Right.
I love the Ocarina of Time as well because it's one that I grew up with. But it's a really good opening screen, kind of pulls you in. I
Yeah.
guess would be a way to describe
It's
that.
saying, "Hello, welcome to our game. Come in." Right?
Right.
It's a greeting. It's the greeting for the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think you also have the next really strong opener with the intros.
Yeah, I have always been a fan of the Kingdom Hearts title screen opener. It's a good example. I have been guilty of just sitting back on the couch and just letting the title screen music run for like 15 minutes. I think that's the longest I ever did it, but I would just lay back and just listen to the intro music because it just puts me in that mood to play the game. And it brings me back to all the times that I played it and on all the places where I was mentally in my life, and it just kind of kind of runs me through this nostalgic kind of journey of how I've progressed over the years, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It just I could fall asleep to it any time of day.
You know, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that because so I lived in Brazil for a couple of years, and so while I was down there, I actually had a Final Fantasy instrumental soundtrack.
Oh,
that would go through all of the classic Final Fantasy games, and it was just somebody playing
so
on the
cool.
piano, right? But I would fall asleep to that almost every single night because it just put you in this. And it wasn't any of the fight stuff; it was all of the intros, you know, these title screen music,
right?
Because they're always usually kind of calm and kind of letting you,
very welcoming,
soft and very welcoming.
Yeah,
Another one that I think is a classic is Halo. You know, go to the start. You have the chorus that is coming in.
Yeah, those
and
monks
I mean, take your
or
pick.
whatever.
I think our example that we have here is Halo 3. But all of them kind of evoke that. It's almost like an air of mystery. You don't quite know what's going to be coming up yet.
Feels grand.
Right? Yeah.
Very
like
open.
you're starting out on this big epic journey. You have no idea what's going to be before you yet, but it's going to be big.
Yeah, you're just waiting to open that door, right? That's what it does. Yeah. That also evokes a lot of nostalgia for me, hearing that menu screen music while you're with 15 of your buddies while they're all getting their Xboxes plugged in and everyone's getting their profiles downloaded and you're about to have a good freaking time.
Oh,
right?
Those Xbox parties back in the day were
Rest in peace,
awesome.
Xbox LAN parties.
Seriously.
With the death of multiplayer, which will probably be a future episode,
Probably.
Those don't exist anymore, and that is a shame. That really is a shame. So transitioning, our second point or instance when you really hear music when it has a really powerful effect is when it changes for combat.
Right.
When
Absolutely.
you're getting into the nitty gritty of the games, right? And the first example I think of is like the One-Winged Angel music from Final Fantasy VII. As you fight Sephiroth, the music that plays there, and it just this big like pumping music, and I can feel the anxiety rising. You know what I mean?
Right.
When that
That
boss
tempo.
music plays, you feel that adrenaline rush. You feel that clenching in your stomach. You know what I mean?
Well, and oftentimes your heartbeat starts matching to the rhythm
To
of
this.
the song, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it just naturally starts amping you up, and your adrenaline just starts pumping.
Yeah. And then another example is Kingdom Hearts, and there's a lot of internal consistency with the boss fight music, with like the big bad bosses, like when you fight Ansem, when you fight Xehanort. But the one that got me was when you fought Chernobog.
Oh,
You're standing
the
there,
ultimate big bad evil guy, right?
and I was terrified of Chernobog as a child. I loved Fantasia, but Chernobog was like my nemesis.
It was creepy.
I remember watching Fantasia as a kid and just being scared out of my mind of this guy,
It's
right?
funny because it was actually my favorite scene out of everything.
Oh,
when
really?
watching it, which I think just means that I'm a little messed up.
I was the
inside.
dinosaurs, but whatever.
You know, no, you're right. But that music and then seeing this darkness, I mean, essentially it's Satan, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it is the epitome of darkness that you're seeing here, and the music for that even.
So when I was like 11 or 12, I think was the first time I played through Kingdom Hearts 1.
Oh, and then you
I'm
get to
in
fight.
the world that never was, or whatever it is, the end of the world. That's what the end of the world, and you drop down that hole, and then I hear the music
And then
change,
there it
and
is.
for a second, wait, where do I know this from? Oh no! And he just like out of the mountain, and I screamed,
Man.
"No!" And I threw the controller at the television,
No
and I just
way.
dipped. I just left. There
You
was
just
no
noped
way.
out of there? Really?
So hard.
Wow.
But then when I beat him, because it's like I conquered that childhood fear.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I had like, you know, not physical, but like a physical manifestation.
you had a
that I got to
manifestation
conquer
of it
that
that you
fear.
had to battle.
I had to battle and overcome it.
That overcame.
And that was not an easy fight. That guy's a piece of crap. He's so hard. So, anyway.
Oh, that's great.
And then the third instance is in Left 4 Dead.
Yes.
As soon as you hear that, your stomach drops into your butt, your poop drops into your pants. You know somebody's dying. It's not going to be me, because I'm turning and I'm running back the way that we came.
And alternatively, it's funny because if you know you're gonna be the tank, this is your amp up music, right?
Like
So
like
it's
Leroy
funny
Jenkins,
that
like let's do this.
It's the kind of
Charging in
thing
there.
that means something very specific when you're a survivor and you're like, oh poop. And then if you get picked as the tank and then that comes in, you're like, yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yeah,
Right?
when I hear that music, I don't even look for where the tank is. I just turn around and run. It's like like what if you're in the woods with a friend and you get attacked by the bear? You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to run faster than the bear. You just have to run faster than your friend.
Right. Yep.
Same thing.
At least
Tank
you have
music.
a med pack, you can go and heal them so they can move again.
But that tank music, every time I get the same reaction. It's just turn around and run. I'm not even playing that.